For the past 2 years, Jocko Fuel has been the only supplement I've consumed. It's helped me stay in shape now that my competitive career is finished. If you've been waiting to try Jocko, the wait is over. Jocko has now teamed with Walmart, bringing clean fuel to the entire nation. Jocko Fuel is loaded with all the good stuff and none of the bad. And I'm talking no added sugars, no artificial sweeteners, and absolutely no gray area or banned substances. Just pure, clean fuel to power your performances. Jocko Fuel is now available in Walmart nationwide. Products available at your local Walmart are Jocko Malt, ready to drink, Jocko Malt powder, and Jocko pre-workout. How convenient. Guys, the time is now. Consider trying some of my favorites like Jocko Go and Jocko Hydrate. You can even do it online. Use code CHAEL30 at JockoFuel.com or just stop by your local Walmart and get your hands on some Jocko ASAP. Don't wait, might not last. Fuel up with Jocko Fuel and crush your goals. Now there's no excuse for not having clean fuel. Guys, I want you to go get Jocko Fuel today at Walmart. The UFC has a guy that they see something in. They're matching him up like a guy that they don't see something in. Allow me to explain. Of the 756 people under contract, 750 of them are interchangeable mediocrities. They could fight anybody, anywhere, put them on this card, put them on this card, put it this way, put them in. It doesn't make any bit of difference. You got 6 guys that are going to keep the lights on. And that's the business. 6 guys that keep the lights on, by the way, in this business is 5 more than boxing has. And I don't say that to insult boxing. From a combat standpoint, right, you got 6 stars that can move the needle. They're going to fight 3 times a year and you've only got 11 pay-per-views? You're in a damn good spot. But in all of that time, there has only been a couple of times where Dana White has come out publicly and said, I have a plan for this guy. I see something, and I have a way that I'm going to take him. He has not said that about Bo. In fact, he matches Bo up with unranked people. There's not a huge amount of promotion into coming out and telling the story. There aren't these things like say we're there with Conor, or say we're there with Ronda, or say that they're Brock. But he's not an interchangeable mediocrity. And that is demonstrated, nor does the UFC believe that Bo is a interchangeable mediocrity. And that is demonstrated by card placement alone. That and that alone. Before Bo had ever got to the UFC, he had already main evented. He main evented the biggest marketing tool that this sport currently has. Well, that would be arguable with the Ultimate Fighter, but he main evented the Dana White Contender Series. They brought him in, he got over, they brought him back and put him back in. All of a sudden, he's on linear television moving the needle. Skinny kid from Penn State that did real well at wrestling. Okay. Not a lot to that story. Why is this working? Why does it matter? And what exactly is the plan? Because there is one. Whether it's been admitted or not, the mere fact of his card placement, UFC 300, in theory, at least, in theory, the biggest pinnacle of Dana White's career. In theory, that was what it was set out to be. An entire roster trying to get on it. Bo, who did not try to get on it, featured match. And I'm just sharing with you. I remember the night that Conor fought Max Holloway. It was a big deal. It was his second fight, but he was not on the main card. And now they got Bo put in there with a legit tough guy. And again, that's a quote that I'm taking from Felter's Facts, but he's right. Paul Craig's a legit tough guy. Do you guys remember Jimmy Manawa? And I think I make this comparison just for them being countrymen. They're completely different styles. What Craig wants to do versus what Jimmy wanted to do. But I just remember people. I remember people that would talk trash from a distance about Jimmy. I remember that. I just remember thinking, you could be right. Yeah, he does come from a country that doesn't have a lot of wrestling. He's a stand-up guy. Yeah, you could go get a hold of him and get him down and start playing that game. But why don't you try to go do it? Like, you'll have my respect. Go do it. You say that you know how to beat him. You say you can deal with it. You say you see a weakness in Jimmy Manawa. Oh, okay. Go do it then. Jimmy was a badass. He was a legit badass. So is Paul Craig. Make no mistake. Now, stylistically, feel free to bring in an opinion of what you think of the match. That's the business. That's what we do here. Paul Craig's not afraid of Bo Nickal. He's not afraid of 15 minutes. I mean, just to start with, everybody's afraid of 15 minutes. That is a massively long time. To put in perspective, a football game, an entire 4-hour football game that takes a halftime, whatever that is, they can go and take a halftime, is 7.5 minutes of action. You did a stopwatch every time they played and stopped it over the course shift, 7.5 minutes of action. I mean, I'm just bringing that to you, like 15 minutes, and to do it straight when the person's not trying to score points, they're trying to damage you. Everybody's afraid of it. And then you get a few guys that aren't. You get a few of those outliers. You end up with a Khabib, or you end up with a Diaz brother. You end up with a Gilbert Melendez. Doesn't really understand what you're talking about. Talking about getting tired. And that's not Paul Craig. As a matter of fact, Paul Craig's big upset over Ankalaev was damn near at 15 minutes, which is just representative that no matter how that fight is going, he's not going to quit. No matter what the score is, he's not done running strategies through in his mind. I'm down by 1. I'm down by 2. I'm down by 2 and I got a broken nose. I'm down by 1. This guy's a southpaw. My leg hurts. Like Paul Craig is constantly running these different scenarios through in his mind. We all do that, but you can get distracted, right? It's the I quit business. You have an athletic match for a little bit of time, and then you start getting tired, and you start doing the math, and it turns into the I quit business. But when you have those guys that don't throw it in, that don't give up on themselves, that do know there's still a way, and that's what Paul Craig is, amongst many other great things. It's a really hard draw for unranked. Paul's beat the world champion Jamal Hill. He beat a now 2-time number 1 contender in Ankalaev. You don't have to tell me how those fights went. I'm just sharing with you. That's a tough draw. And by the way, that was up 20 pounds. He's now coming down, which at least in theory. So what happens? What do you do? What do you do with a win? Why'd they make this match? What is the plan with Bo? You can't answer any of those questions. I couldn't answer them when Adam came and asked me. But we do know there is a plan. We do know that. Simply from the feature position. Bo Nickal grew up a wrestler. He was wrestling in front of mom and dad. Maybe his wife when she was the girlfriend. And then other guys, mom and dad and girlfriend. And then he gets into Penn State. Chael lights this place on fire. All of a sudden, he's got 15,000 people, but he's now at Madison Square Garden. He's not ranked. When's the last time you saw a non-ranked guy getting camera time at the Garden? I'm just sharing with you. Make no mistake. There's a plan. And I am as curious as Adam, and I'm as curious as all of you. What is it? And in fairness, what in the hell has taken so long?